This morning I posted a fucking TikTok about how fucking unfair it is that I've dedicated my life to the military and the Marine Corps and everything that I've done, and that I was able to see my fucking perpetrator in court, and how much it fucking sucked that he was being forced out of the military, that he would be getting an honorable discharge. Well, not even fucking 10 minutes ago, I just got word that this motherfucker will be getting retained because it went all the way up across the board. Everybody said that they would not retain him, and the fucking head honcho, the fucking CG, with all of the proof and a admission to guilt, decided that they will retain him. And this is exactly why females in the military kill themselves. This is exactly why nobody takes us seriously. Yo, what the
You know, when I make these videos, I always want to come at this with the positivity. I'm trying to look for the silver line, trying to look for the best way forward, but this story just doesn't present that today, and that's unfortunate. Please stay tuned as we talk about this case of, I do not know her full name, but on TikTok, it is GWAT Thought, where she has disclosed some of her case as her perpetrator that has RAP to the ED, her, and has confessed to this. And she has actually documented this story across TikTok, I would say, over the past several weeks, where she's went viral even before this. But now the disposition of the perpetrator has honestly been revealed on this TikTok that's gone viral today that you just saw. And the initial TikTok is right here. Went off. She's obviously received some hate from people that are in the Marine Corps, veterans, things like that. And she's even had to battle this in future TikTok against people that claim that she has stolen valor or has never served.
This is the last time that I do this. This uniform. You fucking egg. I'm a female. I served. I am serving 8 years in the Marine Corps. I'm getting out. The military doesn't protect us. I have a right to be angry. Leave me alone.
And this has gotten to the point where even with the negativity of her having to disclose many of the aspects of her case, and it looks like she has been a victim of this multiple times. Not only was this one perpetrator, but previously she mentioned that there was someone else 5 feet away from her that did do this to her as well, which was in front of her son, which is, you know, very devastating. She feels like she's definitely scarred her son, or definitely has guilt from that. And even with this, people have asked her, should I join the Marine Corps? How can I join the Marine Corps? How can I be a better Marine? Or how can I survive and be better off than you were? But she doesn't even promote that, even at this point in her career. And she's served over 8 years at this point.
I've given 8 years of my life to the United States government, and all I've really gotten out of it is a receding hairline and PTSD. So please stop asking me for advice on joining.
And she has suffered some post-traumatic stress disorder from this, and people are still battling her even on that fact, whether she served, also the mental health aspect of it. And I find this to be kind of naive, because we've always looked at this from the idea of, like, you can't have PTSD unless you have been in combat, Iraq, Afghanistan, served your country, lost a leg, something to that effect, which really is not the truth. If you are any, you know, inkling of medically inclined like I am, and I've served, and I've actually never talked about this, was my own diagnosis of PTSD from my childhood and abuse that came from that. And I don't put that out there because I don't want that to be my label. Some people even fighting to not have that as their label, and that's why I don't usually mention that here, because I don't want pity or empathy from it. It's just a title or a word that was given to me. I don't want that to define me, and I don't think this should define her or anyone else at that same point. So when I talk about this, I find it very difficult that people would even question that she's had this emotional abuse and emotional additional suffering even afterwards, months, years later. This has gotten so bad that even the most memed out, highest enlisted member that seems to get memed or punked all the time is the Command Sergeant Major of the Air Force, Joanne Bass. I have to use that joke every time, but I gotta make it lighthearted somehow in this video. But they are even tagging her page for a military member that is not even in her branch for her to look into this or try and do something. Because at this point, it's just like, where is the recourse? What is this? And I'll say, as you can see behind me, I have looked at the instruction to kind of see how this even came about. And I really am not a legal officer. I'm not a JAG of any kind to really discuss this in depth. But she did have a special court-martial per what is required from the instruction if this does occur. This has gone so viral. You have so many people that are coming out there to her support, and even some of the biggest TikTok accounts, with some people even leaving kind words to her that she can handle this, such as Toby House saying, "Please don't die. Please don't give up. Contact a lawyer. Contact the politicians. Please don't give up. Please, your life is worth living." As much as we like to meme TikTok, it is still things like this that make this platform legitimate, and people crying out for help and getting attention to things like this. Now, could she go for a congressional letter for this? Definitely. Now, she has even gone on to Twitter to tell us her intentions, which she says, "Tomorrow I will be requesting mass. I will be contacting my congressman. I will be burning this whole branch down to the effing ground. But today, give me some time. I'm not well and I won't be for a very long time. I love you all. Talk to you soon." What it looks like was going to be the hopeful outcome for her is like she was looking to at least have the justification that, okay, he will not be able to be retained. He'll have some kind of punishment, get out of the military, never serve again. That is at least something. But what she's saying from this is the commanding general that has allowed this to occur has said that this Marine will still be allowed to be retained in the military. I don't know if he was guilty or not, but if you guys do not understand the system for re-enlisting in the military in general, I do understand the Marine Corps system a little bit to tell you that there are different tier levels which allow them to re-enlist or not re-enlist. If this is guilty, he likely will not re-enlist, and that would put him at a lower tier on the Marine tier level, which typically, if you're not a tier 1 and you're a tier 2, you're like 50% chance of being able to re-enlist, and if this would put him at tier 3, tier 4, he wouldn't be able to most likely when he did submit a re-enlistment package. Now, what this case went to was a special court-martial which required to have at least 3 members on the board, which at least 1/3 or one of them being an enlisted member, which she says unanimously across the board, all 3 of them said that he was guilty and they would not retain this service member. I look at this as somebody that does have a platform here. It's kind of responsibility to mention these things because it's like, how does this happen? How? Why? How are we dealing with the fact that he's admitted guilt? Everyone on the board said no. I mean, the only thing I could think of is like a critical MOS job, but even then, that's even hard to justify in my head when that puts other people at risk that could deal with this behavior or possibly be in trouble. Obviously, I do want to mention this is one side of the story. We don't know the entire case, so I'm not trying to act like I do, but I do have trouble saying that this is going to be one of those cases where it's like, if he admitted guilt, they said he was guilty, where does this line get blurry at all? To give you some background story on what the special court-martial can do, there's several different kinds of punishment they can do, but there are some limitations as well. A special court-martial may impose any punishment except death, dishonorable discharge, dismissal, confinement for more than 1 year, hard labor without confinement for more than 3 months, forfeiture of pay exceeding 2/3 pay per month, or any forfeiture of pay for more than 1 year. The accused has a right to be represented by the free military attorney or may hire their own civilian lawyer, and if found guilty, members can receive a bad conduct discharge, confinement of up to 1 year, hard labor without confinement for up to 3 months, and forfeiture of up to 2/3 pay, monthly pay for up to 1 year. Enlisted members may be reduced to the lowest enlisted pay grade. Officers found guilty in special court-martial can't be reduced in rank or discharged as a sentence of special court-martial. So there were different tools at this disposal from the judicial system from this case. So why were none of those things brought up? We don't know. She has not mentioned this here as well. Now, everyone does say do a congressional letter to this because this is something that can be brought above even the military eyesight, and I promise you there will be some pressure from several people as we've seen this TikTok blow up within 1 day. From filming that video on my phone and bringing it to this edit, it has over 4 million views right now and thousands upon thousands of comments. So I do think this will get some of the publicity that it needs. But, you know, I make these videos to try and inform, educate, and say that the safety and protection of any service member, male or female, because obviously can't affect both. And the judicial process should be served out appropriately. I don't know enough to go through this. If you are a JAG officer or somebody that has worked in the legal system, even a legal man, might be able to talk a little bit about this, because I'm not finding much information that I can talk about how this occurred, and it's not my lane to talk in. But I'd love to hear some professionals out there kind of discuss their thoughts and opinions on this, obviously from the one side we are presented. I will say that tastefulness and tactfulness, as much as this is emotional from her side, is very difficult because she now has a platform. Could she go out there and literally ruin this guy's life and say, yes, this is the perpetrator? She totally could, but she isn't. So I don't know why that is. Maybe she's received legal counsel, not to mention the name, which is obvious because she could be countersued, things like that. But I would be so hard to be restrained to not do something with such a huge voice right now upon this platform that she's discovered in the past couple months. But like I said, even the legal professionals or you guys that are out there looking at this video that aren't legal professionals, I want to hear what you guys think. And as always, if you love what we do at this channel, you can always help us out over at patreon.com, down in the description down below. You get special perks there. Also on the memberships here on YouTube, the join button down below this video, you can click and make sure you become a part of the family here. And as always, if you guys do have questions about this or anything else, you can hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, or down in the comments below. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.